Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with Trae.
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peeps that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I get to welcome you to another fantastic episode of the Day with Trae. Really glad y'all are joining me today, but also glad my guest is in the building. Yolanda Barton is here, the VP of Economic Development at Urban Impact. She's going to be telling us all about their amazing pinch competition and entrepreneurship training. Y'all, I'm excited that she's here so we can learn more. But you know, I get to start with you and my excitement for you to be here joining us. This is the best time at the top of the show for you to organically help us grow. Just share the show with other folks who you feel could benefit from our daily dose of dopeness on the Day with Trae. Of course, if you can't watch us, you can always listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and The Day with Trae. You'll find us there. Okay, before I get into it with Yolanda, I get to share a funny story about my son. Now, y'all keep on hearing about my son because he is phenomenal. So he had the opportunity to join a cohort of young people for a monologue training program. And at the end of the program, shout out to Acts on Stage. At the end of the program, they're doing a monologue competition. Now, me and my son have been watching this show called Swagger. It's on Apple TV, and it's so cute because we get to see this inner city basketball team kind of coming of age story with these young people. And my son being 12, now these kids are like, end of middle school. They start off at 8th grade, and the next season they're like in high school and basically graduating. So we get to like kind of journey with them. And when he had the opportunity to pick his monologue, I like, maybe you want to pick something from there, because he loved the show so much. He watched both seasons twice, right? So I'm like, maybe, you want to pick something from there. And he does, y'all. He records it on his phone. He goes upstairs for like 20 minutes. He comes downstairs to perform the monologue for me. And when I tell you, I was so blown away and so proud of him. I mean, it's just moments like this that you cannot get back. And I'm so grateful to spend that kind of time with him, because he came down, honey, he knew them lines. He had the inflection, the characterization, the tone, the emotion behind it. I was so proud of him, okay? Now, of course, this is coming from his mother, who was also a thespian, right, at his age and younger. And I just love being able to share these moments with my son. But it reminds me to bring this story to you all, because those intimate moments that you have with young people in your lives, no matter if they're your children, your niece, nephew, family, chosen family, it doesn't matter. When you get to share those intimate moments with them, when it's about something they love, the lighting up of their eyes. He was so excited to do that for me, and I was so proud, and he did so well. I shed 2 tears, and I told him, I said, that was 2 tears that I shed, because I was like, look at him do his thing. But there's such a great energy exchange that happens when we open up our hearts to the young people in our lives, and when we share in their joy, right? I mean, he was like in it, he was on it, and to be able to do that with me, and for me to give him a proper exchange and good feedback and pour into him, these kind of moments are so critical in young people's lives. And these are the memories that oftentimes become so monumental when they're adults, to be like, man, that time, like it anchored something in me. So I'm just encouraging all of you out there, if you got young folks in your lives, be including yourselves, like include yourselves, be engaging with them when they're talking about the things they love, because trust me, those are the moments that you and them are going to cherish forever. Well, after this short break, up next, we got Yolanda Barton in the building, y'all. We're going to be talking all things urban impact right after this. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
This May, Seattle Opera presents the return of Bizet's celebrated classic, Carmen. A mesmerizing story of obsession, Dazzling sets, elaborate costumes, and iconic melodies make Carmen irresistible. Don't miss Carmen, May 2nd through 17th at McCaw Hall. Details at seattleopera.org.
Discover the raw, essential story of Northwest modernism through the Seattle Art Museum's Beyond Mysticism. This exhibition features over 150 pieces celebrating the region's natural beauty and urban life. Get your tickets today at seattleartmuseum.org. We'll see you there.
It's nice that we have resources to help us, follow our dream and still go to college, continue education.
FAFSA has definitely given me the chance to get that post-secondary education that I want to get.
As AVID teachers, we really help our students through those processes.
So being able to provide all the tools is a gift.
The opportunity is the doors are open for him to go to any college that he wants, any university statewide.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me right now, we got Yolanda in the building. Hi.
So nice to see you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so glad you could join me today. Now, this is exciting because Urban Impact does a lot, but this entrepreneurship training and the pitch competition are really becoming something that Urban Impact is known for. Before I get into it, I got to ask what got you kind of going in this kind of work. Tell us a bit about your background.
Well, I'm an entrepreneur that supports entrepreneurs. I mean, that's what really sums me up is it's difficult to be in a city where some of your odds to succeed look like 0.1, 0.2%. And those aren't realistic numbers for who we are and what we're trying to be and how we're unleashing our brilliance in this city. So like most people, I left Seattle to go do my entrepreneur journey somewhere else. And I learned a lot of things while I was in Atlanta, and I got so much support. That's where you start to hear all those yeses. Well, I wanted to bring that back to the city and really focus on what do entrepreneurs need here to succeed, and what they need is the opportunity to stand up and tell their business, to talk about what they're going to do to change community. I mean, some people in business, it's just about the money. Yeah. In our communities, it's how can we solve problems for each other? How can we make our community better? How do we create a pathway that leads to more young people believing that they can create their dream, not just dream about it, but actually in reality bring it and deliver it to us? So I decided I wanted to focus on what's not here. Not a lot of funding opportunities here. And who wants to play in a game where 0.2% are your odds for success? No, thank you. So we have to create our own path. So I created a playbook while I was in Atlanta because I was really lucky. I got the chance to raise funding through pitching and then take a lot of time off so that I could build my business. So I did a lot of accelerators. What do I not know? What do I need to know? And I learned it all and put it together and created a playbook, brought that back to Seattle, and I've been doing that here in Seattle for some time. And the pitch competition is where we level up, right? So you start with Ignite Ideas. Let's take your idea. Let's create the roadmap. Let's make it scalable so it's not a one and done thing. So you're constantly pivoting and growing it. And then let's take what you learned, this blueprint, this roadmap that you've made, and now let's train you to pitch with it. Because I raised a significant amount of funding for my business pitching. We're storytellers, we're unique, and we know how to get to the passion and the heart of who we are and what we're trying to solve for our community. So you actually can do really well in the pitching space if you're willing to put in the work.
Well, one of the things I really appreciate about it is through pitching, especially with an entity like Urban Impact, is you're a known entity, in these spaces. You're closing the gap for, I think, a lot of business owners because they may have the ideas and may be able to pitch well or maybe just need some refinement, but finding the folks to pitch to. Tell us a bit about how y'all have been able to build relationships in that space and help business owners close that gap.
Yeah, I mean, I think in every entrepreneur situation, you're always looking for resources and support. Who are the people that actually want to see you succeed? Who wants to give you the opportunity to stand on stage and compete? And, I just recently came back to Urban Impact a couple years ago. I've been refining the programs and more intentionally putting more funding, realistic funding, right, into what it's going to take for you to launch your business. So if you do the work, I'll go raise the funding.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And then what was amazing was last year our first place winner was Melvin Freeman, the fly blind guy.
Yeah.
I mean, a blind man who's already successful in his own right, who's made a ton of murals across the city, but now is willing to take a leap and to say, I want to shape and mold a business for myself and leave a legacy for my family against tons of other people. So the truth is anyone can win. You might think, oh, I've been doing business for a long time, so nobody can beat me. Anybody can win, right? And you can be a first-time business owner. Maybe you've had a business, but you've never really learned the skills of what it takes to really scale it. And maybe you haven't focused on strategy and execution. So it's all businesses are great, but we want you to last. We want you to succeed. And then we want you to stand on stage and unapologetically let people know who you are and why you deserve the support for your business.
My goodness, I love this.
Yes.
Now, in terms of the outcomes, I mean, okay, you know, you win. What does that give a business when they win the competition through Urban Impact?
Well, first off, funding, right? We're not afraid to fund our people, and nobody questions it when someone who looks a certain way gets funding. So don't question funding our dreams and visions either, right? Because we're not giving anything away. We're investing in you, and that's a different philosophy. The other piece of that is, even if you don't win, what you really won was how to mobilize your business, because the pitch competition don't begin or end here. You can do it anywhere. I used to fly into different pitch competitions and come back with a check, you know, and so I want to support entrepreneurs in doing that. So a lot of people may not be able to pay for the flight, the Airbnb, the food, and find childcare for their children. That's a huge expense. So what can we do to help people get there, right? So we train them, make sure that they really do have something competitive that's going to take them far. And then we hope they go across the borders to go win funding. But we'd like to see Seattle do more. We'd like to see this city do more. I'd like to see people not have to go to Atlanta and New York and LA and Chicago and DC to get the funding. And they say Seattle's not a sexy city. Where? Who? What do you mean? So we like to see Seattle put some investment. Beyond the words, put the money down. And show how we can use it to support businesses and thriving in this city. So not all conversations about entrepreneurship needs to be backdoor conversations. You can literally support organizations like ours who are putting on the pitch competitions, raising the sponsorship, bringing the judges to the table, and on the side, training entrepreneurs to blow the waters.
Wow. I really appreciate this approach, because you're saying, hey, we're going to give you the tools to succeed. And then we're going to give you the stage to showcase those tools. And, you know, there's not a lot of entities that are able to do both, you know, and shout out to everyone who is pouring into the space. I think there's something so beautiful about this, almost like a renaissance happening again, Yolanda, with Black-owned businesses and global majority-owned businesses, where people are really taking their ideas to the next level. Tell us about some of the ways that you've been able to just sit back and enjoy the work as you pour into these businesses, as you and your team and the folks at Urban Impact continue to make an impact with these business owners.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm glad I was an entrepreneur first, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And if it was if this was my first, it would be really hard. And what I can say is I don't get to sit back and enjoy it much, because I'd rather put my time and energy in helping people prepare. And they need that preparation, support, and confidence to last them all the way from getting on that stage to walking out that building. You stay in a consistent state of pitching, right? Because I'm pitching just as much as they are, getting them the support they need so that when they get on stage, there's a check waiting for them. But I also recognize some entrepreneurs really just, you know, deserve the opportunity to pay for the entity to start their business, deserve the opportunity to have the funding to have their first conversation with a lawyer, to have a solid legal base so that their foundation is not going to be disrupting what they're trying to build. It's fulfilling. That's my word. It's fulfilling, because I got so frustrated with doors being shut in my face before I even got the chance to say who I was or what I was trying to do. Let me tell you what no sounds like. It sounds like not you, not the right fit, not right now, you don't fit the criteria. I mean, it's like 10 different ways of hearing no constantly. So I will fight within the last inch of my breath to make sure these entrepreneurs get a yes from us.
Wow. You know, that dedication is so valuable in our community. And I really appreciate you for leading with passion and care that way.
Thank you.
I think it's so necessary for businesses, especially in the climate we're in, you know,
Yes.
right? Like there is a notion that if you don't fit a certain thing, then how can you succeed? Oh, I don't know that I can bet on you succeeding. And I also think too, we talk about this oftentimes just in the workforce of global majority folks having to work twice as hard, be that much better. And it's very similar in the business world.
Yes,
it
it
might
is.
even be even more so.
It's pretty cutthroat.
Yeah. So I really appreciate that you do this work. But I also know that Urban Impact moves relationally. I mean,
Yes.
y'all are about building those relationships with business owners. Tell us a bit about how, you take that approach into
Yeah.
the work you do for businesses.
Well, fun fact, I won my first pitch competition at Urban Impact. So it's fun to have a full circle moment where I'm giving back. It is about relationships. And Urban Impact has been around for 30 years, and I think Econ Dev has been around for about 15.
Wow.
So for a lot of people here, that's their first step. What we want to do is keep expanding the relationships of people that want to support this work and want to support the people that are open to doing it. This is a big step. It's a big step to say, I have an idea, or I've been running a business, but I really don't know, if I could be doing it better, if there are other opportunities connected to this, what am I missing, right? And that's when I've been focusing a lot on building mentorship. Because I'm not the best entrepreneur, definitely not saying that, still got a lot of work, and I need mentors too. But I wouldn't have got to any of the places that I got without that support. So then how do we open up to our city and say, many of you have done amazing things, but what are you willing to give back to people who are just starting? Or what are you willing to give back for people who really need an ear and just someone to hear them? And that is harder to find than people think. So I focus on raising funding to bring more speakers and experts that I learned from on my journey. So I'm activating all my networks from graduate school to PhD program to Atlanta entrepreneur community to Seattle's greater community. And we have amazing leadership here, right, Trae? Like that ain't nothing new.
Yeah.
But how many of you are willing to come and talk to an entrepreneur? So I like doing events called Shake Hands with an Entrepreneur. Just come and shake a hand. Let them practice their 1-minute intro and see how it lands on you. Let them practice what problem they're solving, because that's the spine of their business, is what problem they're solving. So it's a mindset shift. We need more people willing to help with that mindset shift and not just sort of watch. Come get on this field and help us shape the future of entrepreneurship. You're right about there being this new movement, right, that's taking place in our city, because we're not going to stand by and just say, oh, since you're not giving the funding or supporting us, that we're not still going to do this. We're still going to do this. And I do think there needs to be a lot more opportunities for people to come and share how their journey shaped their entrepreneurship and how that could be really powerful for new entrepreneurs and even older ones. Like there's no age gap. We've got people from different accessibility levels and different ages and different products. We got people who've been fighting cancer who now have a solution that they want to unleash unto the world. It's not just food. Like they like to look at us mostly in kind of one kind of way.
That's right.
We got people wanting to lead the future of AI. We got people wanting to lead the future of education. That's a $2.5 trillion industry, right? So what if we all supported? What if we just made more opportunities to share what we do know and see how that can really help entrepreneurs with their journey?
My goodness. Okay, so you got me sold. If you ever need me to come
on,
and shake a
Trae.
hand,
Come on, Trae.
I'm coming to shake a hand. Well, one of the things that I think too is so vital for me when it comes to business, it is relationship.
Yes.
And I think in the work that I do, like on the business end, so much of it is just I have to bring my full self to these opportunities, because I never know who's in the audience who might want me to come and do something for them. So there's always this notion of, bringing your best self forward. And it's clear that you all are really helping business owners understand that. And you're giving them not only the tools, but the platform to showcase it. Yolanda, I'm excited. Of course, I got to let you share how folks stay connected with Urban Impact. If we got some folks out there who are like, I have this idea, maybe I need to start here, please look right there and let them know how they stay tapped in.
Well, first and foremost, come to our pitch competition, May 28th at US Bank Tower. in downtown Seattle. We will be at the U.S. Bank Tower, which is right downtown between 5th and 6th. Beautiful building. We're giving them the stage they deserve, so come. There's plenty of seats available for you. Come cheer on entrepreneurs, shake some hands, let entrepreneurs how they did, and also come help us vote, because we always have an audience favorite. And if you're interested in building a business, or you have a business, or you have an idea, but you really want to look at what the future can provide you and what ways you can pivot and continue to grow, maybe blow that revenue generation tool out of the water, create an engine of revenue generating businesses, we're here to support you. So you can reach out to me at ybarton@urbanimpact.org. You can find me on LinkedIn, Yolanda A. Barton. And please, if you are a mentor or willing to help shape the future of entrepreneurship, reach out to me. I'd love to hear how you'd like to help. And I hope we get to see you at the pitch competition too, Trae.
Wow.
I got a seat ready for you.
There we go. We need to get there. Thank you so much, Yolanda, for being here. Excuse me, for sharing all of this. It's so beautiful to see how Urban Impact continues to make an impact. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Wow, y'all. I'm going to wrap it all up right after this. Y'all know I'm inspired. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
My name's Deontay Damper, and I want to talk to you about something real. Mental health, substance use, alcohol use, things many of us often carry in this community, often in silence. What a lot of people don't know is this: crisis care services in King County are free, and they're available 24/7 for every single one of us. You can call 988 at any time and reach out to trained, compassionate counselors right here in this very region. And we're talking about people who listen and stay with you through the moment to figure out what you need. Now, if you want someone to come to you, they'll send their mobile crisis teams anywhere in King County. These mental health professionals and people with lived experience, not law enforcement, from DESC, YMCA, and the Sound, will show up and support you. And now there's another option. You can walk into one of King County's crisis care centers anytime for urgent mental health and substance use support. Just like you walk into urgent care for a broken arm, but this time it's for your mind and your recovery. No insurance, no appointments, just walk in. The first center is actually open right now in Kirkland, and people are already coming through those doors every day. And more centers are on the way, actually in the comings of years, including Seattle on First Hill, in South King County, on the east side, and one specifically just for our youth. We all know someone who struggles. I have. Maybe you have. Or someone you love. Asking for help can often feel hard, but you're not alone. You have someone to call. Someone who can show up, and now a safe place to go. These services are free, and they're here because communities demanded better. They voted to make it real. The doors are open. Walk in when you need to.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Huge shout out to Yolanda Barton. I mean, when you talk about bringing your passion into what you do, it is something that is infectious about it, y'all. So y'all know I was inspired. Of course, if you are someone who has the resources to help support the businesses in our area, please make sure you reach out. And if you are someone who is like, man, I need that support. I have this idea. I got this business. How do I take it to the next level? Make sure you also reach out. These pitch competitions are a great way to hone in on your business idea and that elevator pitch that is so necessary for you to take your funding to the next level. So huge shout out to Yolanda for being here, y'all. I'm just so totally inspired. I want you to be inspired too, because whatever that passion is that you have, there's a way that you can be using it to contribute to others. And that means you're being a part of the solution. So be as inspired as I am with the story that Yolanda shared today. I thank y'all so much for watching. And of course, I'll be back with you. And until next time, y'all, peace. Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.